you have like a pillar of light in one city, and he's gonna raise up the vibration of the city just by being there, just by walking, just by talking with people, with strangers on the street. He's gonna infuse it with light. So they people look at you strangely. They don't know what you have, but they know you have something, and they want that something, but they don't want to work to have that something. They want to just steal it from you. But actually, I have this kind of experience a couple of years ago. That's why I stopped working with people, because they were drawn to me, and I didn't want to give people things, weapons, or like spiritual, so they're gonna work with them to benefit their own egos and benefit their own pockets. So I stopped doing that. But even so, a lot of people started to get attracted by my light or by my knowledge. I don't know what to say, like something like
Yeah.
that.
No, it's all, yeah, it's electromagnetic energy fields, man, and they
Yes.
send out currents of energy, and people can feel your ass across the room. They're like, I want some of this, but they're not in alignment. They're at a lower frequency, so they become a vampire. That's usually how it
Yeah.
works. And
Yeah.
yeah, not only is it the humans either. There's interdimensional entities, all kinds of other
I've seen
plasma
one
beings.
in Park
Yeah.
City. I've seen a dark soul. I don't know how to explain it, but there was a like a black cloud behind that person,
Oh wow, you saw it.
and that
Yeah.
person was staring at me and started to wanted to make conversation with me, but I always back off. And she was starting saying crazy stuff. She was in the military department or segment, so started to talk about the Obamas, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening here?" Yeah.
In the
I
United
mean,
States?
I'm in a coffee shop. I'm in a coffee shop making coffee. What do you want from me? Yeah.
Damn.
But I was in a room actually with Obama back on Martha's Vineyard in
What?
2015, I think, something like
Holy
that.
shit.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. Well, I hope you shielded yourself.
Back then, zero knowledge about this.
Yeah. It's all good, man. They can't take your life from you unless you let them. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you said. We're a pillar. That's in my synopsis, so I'm about to start talking about. It is
Yeah.
literally what's called in a transceiver, so not like just an antenna receiving, it also sends signals through your toroidal field,
Yeah.
but physically through your biology as your spine, your brain, and your heart, and your arterial system. And it's just like, dude, we are constantly pulling in energy, just like a plasma ball and sending energy. It has the tethers everywhere. That's like you. And every time you put a thought,
Yeah.
it buzzes out, tethers somewhere. And once you start turning on your light body, you'll feel this shit way more substantially. You still won't be able to see it with your physical eyes because it's outside of the visible light spectrum, but you'll begin to
Yeah.
actually feel the finger chakras. You feel this buzzing right here. Everything will turn on. You'll feel spinning. You'll feel vibration. You'll feel electrical signals moving around inside of you. It just gets so insane. And then when you lift out of your physical body, not only can you still feel all of this, but now you can see it too. And I'm telling you, man, just like barely even trying, I'll just like gratitude or any kind of emotional frequency. I'll cast it through the finger chakra on the wall, and it's big, beautiful, colorful light coming out in like a Ghostbusters kind of stream. And then you can literally just create anything depending on how you
Hmm.
use your attention as crosshairs, basically, or targeting to like track the
Yeah.
energy,
Yeah.
and then you feel into it to give it a life force and then a spirit. So it's like an attention feeling will or attention feeling spirit, okay, or attention feeling intention.
Yeah.
And then we are so powerful, bro, that we can create little separate from us entities out of plasma. No fucking joke. I mean, it's even in our culture. You know, the wizard is always creating familiars. It's in the video games. It's in the movies.
Yeah.
They create a little like horse or a dog or a wolf or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I'm trying to say is we're doing this at all times here, but we just can't see outside the visible light spectrum. We can feel shit, especially when we turn everything on. We'll start to really feel energy. But most people, man, they're just deactivated, and it's sad. It happens on purpose. right when they come into this dimension, they are literally grabbed out of the womb and just injected, and then the ideologies, the programs set in, and this is like removing God's fractal programs, right? And the
Yeah.
heart field feedback loop to God through the heart center.
Yeah.
Then they literally implant their little silicon chip space is a symbolism, but
Yeah.
and then it redirects your energy flow into their programs. It creates an energy blockage, and then you're fucking. If you are Kundalini awakened, it will go back down the spine and go dormant and get stuck wherever the
Yeah.
chakra imbalance is directing the flow, basically. And a lot of people get polarized left or right brain as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, I'm ready to get
I know.
started on my rant.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Yeah. Go ahead.
no, I mean I was gonna say, but we can. You're the one that's in charge of this, man.
Hmm.
I just have to charge by the hour. As long as you're aware of that, then we're good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just want you to get your money's worth or whatever. So, but yeah, man.
I know the
I
works of Rudolf Steiner,
oh yeah,
the
cool.
the one that you started to say about even in YouTube videos.
Oh hell yeah.
The Luciferic energy and the Aromanic energy
Oh,
and
it's
everything that's happening right now in the society.
that's such a fucking key, man, to understand that
Yeah.
polarity and then ultimately that trinity, because that's how
Yeah. Yeah.
the black magic magicians are basically that's their biggest weapon is
Yeah.
dividing
I
us
know.
into this
I know. I know.
dogma. It's so important to find the
And
trinity, the real trinity.
if you ever read the books of Samuel Alvaor, The Perfect Matrimony or The Yellow Book,
Yeah,
talking about different techniques.
I used to make memes from him back in like
Hmm.
2019. I put his picture in a quote. He's crazy. That guy is fucking. He's a rare soul, especially back then.
Oh my god, yeah.
Tengo.
I've seen some videos with him from the 70s on YouTube. The way that he presents himself and he speaks and everything, he was too ahead of time. He was, yeah, out of space.
Samael. Isn't that an archangel name? The divine sway.
Actually, it's
Holy
like a
shit.
demon name.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Seriously.
he's giving the fucking Christians some ammunition there with that name.
Yeah,
Because they're going to call this shit satanic. But yeah, it looks like he's
yeah,
what, Colombian, born in
yeah.
1917, died at 77 at the age of 60. That's pretty young. Huh. But
And
yeah,
he's
he's ahead
talking
of his
about the
time.
astral and everything. He's really good at it.
I wonder where he got his
And
information.
he was talking about the
Gnosis.
Turia. So a Turia is a person that never sleeps and he's awake in the astral. So when he goes to sleep, uh, he's not sleeping. That's what he's saying, and he's not
Yeah.
dreaming. So only like a saint or a Turia retaining his seed and working with his energy, he develops the astral and the light body, and he can travel and learn from the masters during the sleep. When he said like everybody learns from the master when you sleep, but only a few remember when they wake up.
Oh, yeah. He's talking about the lucid memory transfer. That's what I teach
Yeah.
in this session. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
So that's why I was like um gaining to wanting to gain some knowledge on how you do it and started to train to see if your technique works with me also.
Cool. Yeah, it took me
So
years.
whenever you're ready.
Took me years, but that's
Yeah.
just because I was so fucking stubborn, man, that I didn't read shit. And then I would
Yeah.
it was the suffering, man, is what forced me or was the catalyst to make me want to experiment, to go
Yeah.
inward, direct
Yeah.
my energy inward and figure it out
Yeah.
because I needed something that was like a meditation for mental therapy because my life was so fucked up, man. I was strung out on really bad drugs and it was
Hmm.
like I needed some kind of internal therapy that wasn't outside of myself. So that's what really drove me to turning it all on.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, I can't wait to tell you
Yeah.
about this. It's no bullshit.
Yeah. So whenever you're ready, I'm
Okay,
ready.
man. So I'll just start with the souls projecting into this dimension. and just kind of
Hmm.
get a little bit of an understanding of the sciences behind how the great duality that God is
Hmm.
utilizing to manifest here in this dimension and in others, and just how I kind of stumbled upon this, and then how that relates to the actual biology, and then specifically the light body, and how that this great duality is manifest into your physical being, and how it conducts
Hmm.
what's called the life force energy, the plasma, the chi, the orgone, the vril,
Yeah, yeah.
ki, whatever. So
I
yeah,
know.
man,
I know.
I'm just gonna start. So
I've
what?
researched all of this.
You what?
I've researched all of this, and I know how they have this information actually in China and all the like the Asian part, but they they got this information. If you look, you know they have the white mummies and the pyramids in the Russian, and they have a really big reset, killing 90 million people. Imagine like finding their white people and blonde people. You have the white Mongolians also. Like the history is so bad nowadays, you cannot trust anything that comes from the mainstream. So, like the ancients, they knew. That's why in the Bronze Age they have the pyramids and they work with the light body activation, and they have the shamans actually traveling from one area from the earth to another. So you have the pyramids in Europe or in Bosnia. They travel astral projection to the high priests of Mesoamerica. So they knew about what's happening across the realm back then. So now, because we find ourselves in the Iron Age, uh, our consciousness collapsed into matter even more. So because we stay outside all the time and we don't stay inside and check our rooms inside the head, the heart, and everything, you are disconnected to to the portal. I mean, the whole body. But if you go
Yeah. So
inside, the more you go inside, you go like a fish up the stream to the river all the way it was born and is gonna lay the eggs and come back down. And I think this is the soul. The yeah, I think this is all the way with the astral body and
oh yeah, it's internal for
the
sure.
realms, the, the spirit realms. Yeah,
It's the toroidal implosion in the center of the light body is what creates a wormhole portal
yes.
out of here. And
So
yeah,
how do you do it? How do you do it now, for example?
you want the good shit? You want me to skip the beginning? How can
Yeah.
yeah, okay, because we're already fucking an hour in. So let me see here. So I normally have this whole fucking spiel about how the soul incarnates in, but I'll just go to the good shit, okay? So basically, like a lot of people, I needed a dark catalyst to wake up, right?
Correct. Yeah.
I chose the Ahriman as my god because you start asking questions if
The
you're an
left hand.
intuitive, polar, a powerful soul. You start asking questions. Why is too much suffering? Everything's bullshit. Everything's fake. Why? They go, here's your options if you want more information: dogma or atheism, right? And I look over at the dogma and I'm like, there's something wrong with this. It's fear based. It's like mind control. I start asking them questions and they get offended and they tell me, no, no, you can't question the doctrine or the scripture. Don't ever try to learn more about. It's like, wait, whoa, that doesn't. Okay, who is their God? That's not my God. So then I chose the atheism because at least it had some answers and scientific facts.
Yeah.
I thought they knew
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
they were talking about. So I chose it, but that created this like hedonism in me because there's no purpose in this Ahrimanic universe, this cold dead matter materialism. There's no higher, nothing to fucking live or fight for. You know what I mean? There's no
Yeah.
spiritual
No honor.
essence.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing. So it created this hedonism in me through an escapism, which happens to most men in the West here, especially young boys. I went through it all through my teens and 20s. I chose addiction because it dropped my frequency down. I didn't care about higher thoughts and feelings anymore, and I would just be a slave in the system, a cog in the wheel, basically. But it left a hole in my heart. And it's the pillar we were talking about that anchors right the fuck into the center of your heart field, and you feel it as this nagging void, right? And nothing will suffice it, nothing will make it feel better, especially external materialism, right? So
Yeah,
usually we find a drug to put there that lifts us up to a frequency higher than our normal state, but then it wears off, and then this void gets even more stronger, and you're just like, what the fuck? And this is usually when people crash the ego or straw man, they'll have an ego death. But basically, your soul projects in, anchors in, takes on the astrological alignments, gets imprinted with the data of the character template, and then they immediately just snag you and they start pounding and chopping up your beautiful light body into a fucking cube. And then they put their little programs, ideologies, their bullshit history in you. It directs your flow and polarizes you.
yeah,
I chose the left brain Ahriman, left a void here. I could still feel my higher self, but then this whole suit of armor of bullshit that they built over the top of the real me started to get really heavy, and the drugs started to get worse and worse and worse, and then it all came to a fucking crash. But right before it came to a crash, I fell down the rabbit hole. So I was escaping through drugs, alcoholism, and video games. And I was a touring musician. My girlfriend was a lawyer. She paid all the bills. I was just the bad boy boyfriend, the piece of shit 25, 26 year old. 2012, this is when I woke up. There was on the gaming system